It always feels as though everyone else has their own story, but we have a hard time reading our own. Each book, movie, story is all different, so why should we be sticking to all of the same storylines? Hi everyone, my name is Shayna and welcome to my podcast Inside Thoughts. Today we are going to be talking about stepping into your story and how we can do it. This is episode 8, which is crazy, but I'm very excited to be talking about this, and I truly think that a lot of people will be able to get a lot out of this message, even if it's just one person. I hope that someone gets this message and it can help with their life, because if other people can do it, you can do it too. So what are we going to be talking about? Everything's going to be timestamped below, so if something sparks your eye a little more, or maybe you just want to go to that specific part of the podcast, you're more than welcome to skip to that part in the video. Okay, first thing we're going to be talking about is the I'm behind illusion. Basically just a feeling behind seeing social media and really just comparing our lives to other people's. The second thing we're going to be talking about is you're not behind, you're just early. I know it's kind of like, wait, what is that? I'm going to explain more. So that's the second thing we're going to be talking about. And then the third thing we're going to be talking about is why we struggle to read our own stories. I think that this is something that I definitely have reflected on for sure. And I think it's something that we're all learning. My bracelet's all learning all the time. So I think that it is something good to hear. We can learn how to stop struggling to read our own stories. And we're going to be talking about stepping into your own story and how you can do that and how you can just change your story. I'm going to give like some pointers, some tips, things that I've used. And then the last one we're going to be talking about is a couple of my stories, because everyone goes through this stuff. I promise you, social media isn't exactly what it seems. So I wanted to talk about some of my personal stories. Yeah, anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and let's get into it. Okay, first up we have the I'm behind illusion. Now, this is going to be things like seeing other people on social media and seeing their life. The thing is we have access to be able to view everybody's life now. So having access to all of that, our lives kind of seem like, what am I doing? Like, they're doing this, but I'm doing this. Someone might be successful at the age of 27 on social media. Someone that got successful at the age of 50 or 60 might also be on social media, but we haven't seen their whole story. We don't always know everyone's full story, so just social media is perfection, and a lot of the times we don't see the behind the scenes. Comparing ourselves to things on social media can actually, I find, make me feel very behind in life, but rest assured, you're on your own journey and you're on your own path, just like that person is on their own path. I saw this girl make a video because I was doing some research on this podcast topic, and this girl said that there's 2 different kinds of feeling behind and comparing yourself to people, and that's social media and society's views or ways of however you need to be. With society, we feel as though if I'm not married by 30, I'm never gonna find my true love. If I don't have this career by 25, I'm never gonna make money. You know, all of these different things, or even going to school and graduating, these things will come to you when the time is right. The reason why life feels, I find, so unnatural for so many people is because they're trying to fit themselves into the box, into the guideline. It's like, say you're applying for a job, okay, you have all the qualities for that, right? But say that job isn't how you feel. Imagine putting your whole life onto what someone else is saying on how you should be living it. Okay, this is your life. This is not their life. They can live their life how they want to. You only have one life. And comparing it and trying to make yourself feel like you need to be someone else is only going to make you feel more unnatural. It is a scary thing to step out of and to get out of your comfort zone. I find I would regret more not chasing my dreams than working a 9 to 5 and following the expectations of everyone else. That would give me more regret when I'm older, personally. I feel like a lot of people think that we need to be on the right path. We don't even know what the right path is. Everyone's path is so different that to say that we're not on the right path or we aren't on the right path because we're comparing ourselves to someone else is just unnatural and it's unrealistic. I feel like it also creates jealousy and envy of others when some people have success when they're younger and some people have success when they're older. It really just depends on who you are. Like, you have time, I promise you. And I just wanted to say that it is hard, but you aren't behind, okay? You are exactly where you need to be, and anyone else telling you that you need to be anywhere else is, I think that people can help us grow and can tell us if we can be at better places in our lives, for sure. I think that taking that type of advice can be really beneficial. But say you wanted to start a new career and someone's telling you, well, oh, that's not what you have a degree in. you don't have to listen to them. That's your life, girl or guy. Like, you don't have to listen to them all the time. This whole I'm behind illusion is literally what society has made for people. It's a facade. And my number one thing is our brains are so powerful that they will believe that they're powerless if they're told so. Be careful with what you're telling yourself, because you can get what you want. You just have to believe it, and you can't let society and social media tell you who you need to be. Next up, you're not behind, you're just early. Think about it. Every good movie, every good story has a story. Sometimes before things happen, there's a journey to lead up to that. That could be where you are right now. Just because you can't see it, the end goal, doesn't mean it's not there. And I think sometimes we have to trust in this invisible source energy or universe or whatever you want to call it, because you have to believe it will happen in order for it to happen. And things take time. Some things take 10 years, some things take 2 weeks, some things take a year. Let me tell you, I literally started posting on YouTube 2 years ago, and I just had my first ever video hit 1,000 views. It took me 2 years. There's been so many times where I've wanted to give up, and I feel like I don't see all these things, this growth happening, but I still trust that it will happen, because I'm approaching videos in a different way now, and I'm approaching things in a different way. I'm seeing the results of the work that I'm putting in. So I think that you have to trust yourself, and I truly think that we're not behind, we're just early to our storylines, and that doesn't matter what age you are. Also, like, what if this phase is just building your character development, or it's building things in your life that you need to learn? Maybe you didn't get that job because you needed to learn how to, see yourself, or there had to be a lesson. Because sometimes I find something bad happens, or I feel like it's bad in my life and I want to let it set me behind. I think to myself in my head, okay, what is this teaching me? And is this the right thing for me? That version of you that you want to create, you have to create it. You have to go through those things in order to become that person. You have to do all these things. So if you're asking for your dream life, but everything's crumbling, maybe your old life needs to crumble in order for your new life to come in. Trusting it and knowing that you're not late, you're not behind, you're just early to the plot, or not to the plot, but like you're early to the story. And I truly think the Miley Cyrus quote that's like, the journey is usually the part that you remember anyways. I think a lot of us feel we need to be at the end result, but in order to get to that, we need to go on the journey. Like, enjoy the journey, enjoy where you are, like sniff the flowers. I don't know, but you're not behind, just early to where you're going. Next up, we're going to be talking about why we struggle to read our own story. I think that a lot of us find it hard to see our own story sometimes, because we see all these glamorous things on Instagram, on TV shows, on reality shows, on all these different things, and we're kind of sitting here like, wait, like my life doesn't look like that, but everyone's praising that life, but my life doesn't look like that. And then we kind of get like doubted in our heads, and we feel we aren't at that level or that success at a certain age, and we feel guilty not being where someone else is. If all 8 billion of us were in the same point at the exact same time, could never ever work. There's a reason why none of us look the same. Maybe some of us have some alikes. There's a reason why we all look different. There's a reason why every single fingerprint is different. There's a reason why we all have our own minds. There's a reason why we all have our own paths, because if we all had the same path, imagine how boring life would be. Seriously, we'd all be copycat prints of each other. And just because someone else's story looks amazing and looks glamorous, and maybe you're even happy for them, great. But that doesn't diminish anything about you. Comparison will always be the thief of joy. Always. For me, at least, I would say that comparison has been my thief of joy many times, especially with social media and just, being at an earlier phase in my life. It feels as though I need to be here, but sometimes I feel like I'm here, and that's okay. Also, sometimes we can't see the growth in real time. It's hard to kind of see growth until you look back in a year and you're like, oh my gosh, like that was crazy, like I got through that. I think one of the biggest things that can help with being consistent and to like read our own stories and to see ourselves better I know people have astigmatism. Sometimes not everyone wants to go to the gym, but for me, going to the gym for 2 months and I kept going without seeing results, I'm now seeing results. And my mind's like, okay, wait, no, if I put in the work, then I can see the results. And that's the exact same way it is with your life. If you put in the work, you will see the results. But we have to be able to trust ourselves and to love ourselves in order to see ourselves as valuable and see ourselves to be able to get to that point of where we want to be in our life. And then you also think about it. It's like, imagine you think of something that you went through that you would have never, ever thought you could have went through, but you went through it. You did that. That's part of your story. Like, you got through that, you did that, you rose up above it, and you got through it. And I truly think that every single part of our story makes our story, and every single thing that we go through gets us to the next chapter. And I just think that being able to read our own stories and to see our own stories and to love our stories and to love our backgrounds and where we came from and our cultures and who we are is amazing. And the more and more I see on social media and the news, it's like people feel as though their story isn't worth enough because of someone else. But I want to tell you that loving yourself and loving other people is the most powerful thing that we have in this earth. And I know that this isn't part of the podcast topic right now, but I just want to say this. I think a lot of us feel as though there's so many things going on. I know this is not anything to do with the podcast topic right now, but we feel as though there's so many things going on in this world and we don't know what to do about it. We don't know how to go about it. And I think you probably know what I'm talking about. If you don't, there's just a lot of things going on in the world and we feel helpless. But I want to say that collectively, if we all came together and showed each other all love and we stopped fighting each other and we stopped picking each other up because of our races and how much money you make and this and this and this and this, genuinely, that is what those higher authorities fear. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. So all we need to do, love each other and love ourselves, this world will change. And that's all I gotta say about that. Next up, how to step into your story. I think that the biggest thing to get a foot in the right direction is to stop consuming so many other storylines. And you still want to be on social media, which is fair enough. I think that being selective storylines you look at. YouTube can sometimes have very authentic creators, and I think that watching those types of creators can really help us feel like everyone's going through things, and instead of focusing on all this glamorized things, take a second for yourself and try not to consume as much, because once you realize that you're just looking at this through a phone and this isn't your life will change. Next up is to rewrite your narrative. You can rewrite your story at any time. I think that something that we can do is to journal and say we're going through something hard in our lives, or we got fired from a job, or something happened, okay? What is this teaching you? What lesson can you get out of this? I know that sometimes we're going through hard situations and can't see it first, and a lot of situations I don't think that are just unfathomable, that I don't think anyone should have to go through. But if it is a situation that you can learn something from, try and learn something from it, and you might actually learn something new about yourself that you didn't know. Okay, number 3 is to decide who you are becoming. Who do you want to be? What do you want to wear? Where do you want to go? What do you want your room to look like? Like, when you think about these things, think about it as though you have unlimited money, as though you have unlimited time, unlimited happiness. Don't put any blinders on about it. Who do you want to be? Don't think about, oh, I don't think I can be that person. Who do you want to be? Write it down. Become that person. Because your mind will play tricks on you and tell you that you can't do it, but you can. That's the thing. You can. If your mind can tell you that you can't, telling you what to do, it's telling you that you can't. Mind can for sure tell you you can. How to train your thoughts is a big thing too. I think that helps with who you want to become. Okay, and last up, I have a couple personal stories to just talk about, because I think that, I want to share things that have happened in my life where I felt behind, where I felt lost, where I felt I didn't know who I was, where my story was going to be, or how my life was going to be. So I want to share some things where those have happened. The time that I felt most behind in life was when I graduated high school, because I wasn't going into university. I'm still not in university. I knew that I wanted to do my YouTube channel, and it was different. than everybody else and what everybody else was doing. And you know, when you go to school, you don't have a laid out storyline, but you can see the end goal. You know you're gonna get that degree. With YouTube, it's like, it took me a while to like believe in myself and to know that it will happen when it's supposed to happen, but I truly felt so behind because I was seeing people just doing, that were in school, that were doing so much more than me, and I just felt behind. And I think sometimes I still do feel behind, to be honest. Actually, that's why I wrote this podcast up, because I was journaling the other day and I said that I feel behind in life. And I do sometimes, and I think when I realize I feel behind, I can pick myself back up and tell myself, you know, you're not behind. You're exactly where you need to be, and you need to trust your story. Okay, my second thing is a time where I didn't feel like I had any direction. I would say I feel like I didn't have direction when my dad passed away. When I was, how old was I? I think I was like 12. It's a very, very blurry time in my life. It's crazy. Like, I don't remember a lot of stuff from that part, but losing my dad, I had no clue what was gonna happen and what was gonna turn out from this, because all I had ever known was, you know, having my dad there. And losing a parent at such a young age is such a interesting story to go through, and it's just such an interesting life event, because a lot of the times I think people are scared of it happening, and rightfully so. It still scares me with my mom, but to lose anyone. But it truly taught me so much about myself that I didn't even know existed. It taught me love. It taught me how to look at people and know that, you know, they might not always be here. It taught me how to be in the moment, to enjoy every moment, because I don't know what's gonna happen until it happens. I'm not gonna cry. But yeah, I truly think that taught me a lot. And I also see him all the time. Like, I see signs and I see all these things, and I truly think that he is guiding me on my path now, and where I am and who I want to be and who I want to become. And I really did not know what would happen, where my life would go, how my family would be. It was scary because I had no idea. But little did I know that from that happening, I've changed and I've grown, and I've gotten so close with my sisters and my family and my mom, and it just changed everything. And although it was really hard, and I do wish that he was still here, I do know that everything happens for a reason, and it did teach me a lot of things, and it taught everyone else around me a lot of things as well. Okay, so that's about all for this episode, but I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you were able to take some pieces of advice away from this video. And please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, because I am posting a podcast episode every Sunday. Any of you have any ideas or things that you want me to talk about, please comment them down below, because I'm more than open to doing a podcast episode off of comments. I would actually love to do that. But I will see you all next Sunday, and I hope you have a great rest of your week, day, or night, and I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for watching.